Okay, so here's a message to other INFJs and to the world that I really, really want to get out right now. Um, INFJs, we need to own the loneliness. Um, we really do. It's really hard. Um, it's gonna be hard at first. Basically, I'm just in this place where I really feel I'm okay. I'm okay with being alone. Yeah, and a lot of INFJs, we might without realizing, but we'll look back, we'll sort of like take on other people's personalities. We'll like maybe flip into our shadow for a while. We'll pretend that we're not really us. This is just to fit in. This is because it's so hard. And as a young INFJ, as a confused INFJ, it's hard, like it's really hard to live in this world as us. And I don't care right now if I sound like I think I'm better. I don't. Um, yeah, so it's hard. So you might really, although you love who you are and you really do see it as a gift, and you see it, but you also see it as a burden. So you might say like, yeah, it's kind of this burden, but someone's got to do it, or yeah, it's this burden, but like I would never give it up for anything. I love it, but maybe even we don't realize how much we are kind of subconsciously pushing it away. Don't do that. It's just gonna make it worse. So kind of what I found was I was really, the past couple months this year, I've really been flipping into my shadow a lot. Kind of an SP wannabe, kind of didn't know my place. I thought I was an ENFJ, which can be very damaging to an INFJ. The ENFJ is sort of that external giver, that selfless giver, dominant extroverted feeler that we do overuse our FE. But we're not ENFJs. We can't give like that. We can't give like them. No, and that's where we need to own loneliness. We need to know we are an IN. It's not gonna go away. I'm sorry. Like, it's not. Forget about it. You need to really own it. And it's kind of, so when we're overusing our FE, so we have all these beautiful, wonderful insights that people love about us, but we don't have a lot of friends this way. So we'll tend to we hate admitting this, but we'll tend to kind of, we'll be more ENFJ, in order to kind of make friends, but as you INFJs understand, okay, it's like, yeah, you're getting a lot of friends this way, they love you, but they're not loving you for you, because you don't really know who you are, you're not being, do you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, although you're like acquiring a lot of friends, and you can really have real friends, and you're different with other people, you're more yourself with other people, it's normal of every type. Um, but when you're sort of in an SP way or an ENFJ way, trying to make them, you're gonna kind of always feel like you're behind this sort of frosted glass. You're not gonna feel very real with them, and other people will not really know this necessarily. They won't really understand what you're holding back, how you're holding back. You don't really know what's going on either. But other people will see this as like very real, intense friendships, and they are. They're probably realer than any other, than other friendships they have maybe, because you're so intense and you're so deep. But you're not. You're in that sort of INFJ, a million rooms in your heart type thing. I didn't really understand. When people talk about, something resonated, identify with something, but I didn't really understand how much that was true sometimes. So basically, I was really just sort of, like, I felt drained, I felt so drained by people, I sort of, like, I overused my FE in a way, so, like I was saying in another video, you're sort of like, yeah, they're asking for your advice, but you're sort of almost making them ask. You're sort of almost like, we tend to feel used a lot, INFJs. We tend to feel like sort of we were just used as a vehicle for self-transformation, and now we're abandoned. Or now we're lonely. Okay, yeah, but you kind of made them. Kind of made them use you. So we need to remember that. And this will leave people, although they'll really open up to you, and they'll feel comfortable with you in that normal INFJ way, they'll love it. There's going to be this weird twinge, there's going to be this weird, they're going to need to kind of pull back a little. They're going to feel a little smothered. They're going to feel, and as an INFJ, you pick up on this, and maybe your subconscious was like, no, 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 it's too scary to be alone. Like, so you'll continue in this, you'll kind of, whatever, I'm fine, and distract yourself. So that hurts. Because we see this so much in other people that, like, we really need to be okay with doing it with ourselves, with really being ourselves. We really can't ask people to take their masks off if we're first not going to take off ours to ourselves. You know, maybe we don't need to take it off to the world yet, but take it off to yourself. Take it off. So in order to kind of better carry this INFJ burden, ease into the burden. You gotta ease into it, succumb to that divine realization that you do have, you have it. I hope something I'm saying is sort of resonating on some level. Yeah, so when people, before when I was, like, yeah, I'm an INFJ, I was an INFJ a couple weeks ago, but I wasn't, I was different. It was a different INFJ. So, yeah, it was different. I helped people from a very different place. Before I get into all this, let me just kind of describe what happened. So it was really just like giving a lot. It was very external, just pretending it was okay. So I was kind of tripping over my shadow a lot. So this is kind of how I feel. INFJs, we've been running a marathon in our life. We've been running. We don't realize that this is why we kind of always seem like we get drained. We kind of seem heavy. We seem like we're longing. That longing in our eyes. So we're running. What happened was I started like sprinting. I started like really running. I started getting thirsty. I started looking over my shoulder. I kind of like sometimes I'd want to just veer off the track altogether. I tripped. I tripped, but I tripped over the finish line. Wow, it was big. Really big, like goosebumps big. You trip over a finish line you didn't even know you could see it. Yeah, really beautiful. And you trip, so it's like trip, boom, catch. Okay, you're caught, but now you're caught by yourself. You're caught by your inner INFJ. You're there. You're caught by. You love yourself now. Like, this is self-love, and I think this is something as INFJs we mistake when we're so loving others, which is good, but we don't even realize how little we're loving ourselves. And we see it in other people. We're like, oh my god, they don't love themselves. Like, oh, I want them to love themselves. I want them to grow. That's really where we need to accept that. Okay, don't apologize for that, but learn. I don't know. I didn't consciously get here, and I'm not here yet. I know there's a lot of learning to be had. There's a lot more. There's more, and the thing is, it's like I can only go up from here, and being here is more real than any feeling I've ever felt. And as INFJs, we know when something's real. Okay, and maybe we won't admit it, but we know when we're not being real. Okay, so now that I'm in this new place, I don't need friends really as I used to. I need friends to be social. I love them. I don't need them. They know this right away. Like, it's only been 2 days that I've kind of been in this new place, but oh my god, like, my life is different. I'm not as drained. I don't obsessively need to, like, help everybody with their problem. My feelings don't get hurt as much when they don't understand me, because they're not gonna understand you, INFJ. Get over it. Oh my god, I finally like, and and so now when I interact with people, and they're kind of asking for my advice, like they will ask you now. They will come up to you now. They're warm. They're warm now. Their walls melt now instead of almost melting, but then almost coming back or almost. So, oh my God, like you guys, I really want to share. I really want to share this experience. I noticed yesterday. I was around my friends. I actually was around them when I wanted to be around them. I didn't kind of like weirdly feel like I needed to go be around them or FE a lot. It was nice. So I was around them. They were different to me. They were different. We were kind of, some friends like as you know, kind of just we pick up on all the little like, subtle difficulties you have with every single person. So yeah, there was a lot of difficulties going on right now. Like, hello, I was just tripping over my shadow. It was crazy for a little while. I was in so much turmoil. So yeah, but they were gone. They were gone now. Sort of where maybe before they would do their normal bullshit, their normal defense mechanisms. I didn't really do anything different when they did these things. I didn't really like externally, like to the naked eye, I was no different. My energy was different. They would sort of maybe they would like do their bullshit, or I'd ask them how they were. They'd know I was seeing right through them. They leave type deal. They came back. Yeah, they might be defensive, but then they come back. And they're sitting next to you more. They're hugging you more. They're talking to you through kind of a real place. Well, this is big because now you're real with them. Okay, so now you're really having these real, beautiful sort of human interactions that you really long for. Yeah. So, and now here's where owning the loneliness. Here's where we really we're better at guarding those energies. So as an INFJ, you really speak a lot through your energy. So this is where other people, they're very like, you're very intense but in a good way type thing. So we speak a lot through our energy. We hold a lot of weight. We have a lot of influence over others, even though we really don't think we do. So this is where you're better at sort of energy posturing subconsciously. It's all subconscious. So your energy is playing off theirs in this sort of this more pure way. And as an INFJ, we're big on purity, we're big on truth, we're big on the authentic real. It's the gut and essence of this moment. So it's gonna feel really good. And in my normal INFJ way, my thoughts right now are very all over the place, and it's hard for me to kind of go back to things I really did want to share with you. So there'll probably be another part to this. Oh well. But yeah, okay. So now I want to talk about the way that we need to hold back. And just this is kind of how INFJs hold back. Yeah. So I'm gonna continue this.